The Niagara War, often remembered as one of the fiercest campaigns of the War of 1812 between the United States and Great Britain, took place along the Niagara frontier, the river and lakes that divided Upper Canada from the United States. Along the Niagara frontier, where the mighty river rushes toward the thunder of the falls, men fought and died in one of the fiercest campaigns of the War of 1812. Muskets cracked, cannons roared, and warriors' cries echoed through the forests. This was the Niagara War, a brutal contest for control of the gateway to Canada. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss more forgotten chapters of history. The War of 1812 began as the young United States, frustrated by British restrictions on trade and the impressment of American sailors, declared war on the British Empire. But for most Americans, the real prize lay just across the border, Canada. The Niagara frontier, running between Lake Ontario and Lake Erie, became one of the most crucial battlegrounds. Whoever controlled this river line could strike deep into enemy territory. And so, both sides prepared for war. At dawn on October 13, 1812, American troops gathered near Lewiston, New York. Their target, Queenston Heights, a towering ridge in Upper Canada. The plan was daring: cross the rushing Niagara River, storm the cliffs, and plant the American flag in Canadian soil. The boats creaked as they rode through the current. British cannon and musket fire rained down, splintering wood and cutting men down. Yet, against all odds, the Americans scaled the cliffs and seized the heights. For a brief moment, the dream of conquest seemed real. But then came General Isaac Brock. Known as the savior of Upper Canada, Brock rallied his men and charged into battle. In the chaos of smoke and steel, he was struck down by a musket ball, a hero's death that electrified his troops even as it grieved them. Soon, reinforcements arrived, not only British redcoats, but Indigenous warriors, particularly Haudenosaunee allies, whose war cries carried through the woods. The tide turned. Stranded without reinforcements, the Americans found themselves trapped on the cliffs. Panic spread. With no way back across the river, hundreds laid down their arms. The first great invasion of Canada ended in disaster, but the Niagara frontier did not rest. In May 1813, American forces launched another assault, this time on Fort George, near the mouth of the river. After a massive bombardment, the Americans captured the post. Victory at last, but the price of holding it was steep. British troops, Canadian militia, and Indigenous fighters launched constant raids, harassing the occupiers until they were worn down and forced to retreat. At Stony Creek, American forces found themselves ambushed by a daring night attack. Confused, cut off, and disorganized, they fell back once again. The Niagara frontier was proving unforgiving. By 1814, the war raged hotter than ever. On July 25th, at Lundy's Lane, just a short march from Niagara Falls, the two sides collided in one of the bloodiest battles of the war. As dusk fell, cannon fire lit up the night. Waves of American infantry surged against British lines, and counterattacks slammed back. The roar of musket fire mingled with the thunder of the falls. The fighting dragged past midnight. Men fought hand-to-hand in the dark, neither side willing to break. When dawn came, the field was strewn with bodies, but no clear victor. Both armies claimed success, yet both had bled too heavily to advance. Lundy's Lane had no true winner, only scars. By 1815, the Treaty of Ghent ended the War of 1812. The Niagara frontier remained unchanged, the border exactly where it had been before. But the battles left legacies. Isaac Brock became a Canadian hero. The courage of Indigenous warriors ensured their place in the story. For Americans, the defeats and stalemates taught bitter lessons about ambition and resilience. The Niagara frontier was not a single battle, but a campaign of fire and blood. Villages burned, rivers ran red, and legends were born. Today, the fields near Queenston Heights and Lundy's Lane stand quiet. Silent witnesses to a war fought over 2 centuries ago. The past never dies. It only waits to be told. If you enjoyed this story, give this video a like, share it with history lovers, and don't forget to subscribe for more forgotten wars and untold tales.